Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome episode of Ask the Giant Killer, starring your two-time Olympia 212 champion and now top 5 Arnold Classic, Shaun Clarida, back home in New Jersey. Good to be home.
Yeah, yeah. What's going on? Good to be back home, man. Good to be at home.
Yeah, we're recording this on Tuesday. I saw you're already back to heavy training. No, not a surprise. That's what you do.
Yeah, I was at the gym this morning at 6 a.m. doing cardio, and then I went back again about 4 hours later and hit some back and arms. So back to business.
So before we get into the Arnold stuff, I need to apologize to you for a factual error I made yesterday. Giles Thomas and I did a whole hour and a half review of the Arnold Classic yesterday on Power Hour, and we're talking about the score sheets and how close it was between you and Ramy. And I said I saw the score sheets and it wasn't. I thought it was a lot closer, but the score sheets said they were 20 points apart. But you know how I messed that up? I'll show you.
There's
So I
3 points.
right. So here's what happened. It's on my phone. It's like the oh, you can't even see it, but it's like in portrait mode. Jeez, look at that. It's
Okay.
like, anyway, I didn't have it this way, the long way, and I was
Okay.
going across the rows, and I couldn't see the names on the left, and I saw New Jersey, and I was like, oh, that's Shaun. It was Akeem.
Oh yeah. No.
Akeem
No.
was 20 points behind Ramy. You, on the other hand, Friday night, Ramy had 21 points. The judges, you had 24, 3 point split. Saturday night, they gave him 20 again, and you had 25, 5 point difference. In the final total, you were only 8 points away from a two-time Mr. Olympia, and he wasn't looking anywhere near as bad as he did at the Olympia. He was much improved. So
Yeah.
bow down. Extra props to you, Shaun. Yeah.
Appreciate
Uh,
that.
yeah. I got this on today, just in your honor. Legion
Ah,
Sports.
yes.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Shaun won that. It was it last year, right?
2021.
21. My life is just flashing right by me. Yeah, that was an open show that Shaun won, and probably had a lot to do with him being at this Arnold Classic. But I want to ask you first of all, Shaun, Arnold Classic, man, you looked phenomenal. I actually thought you had a really good chance Friday night. I thought you might have been beating Ramy. You know, 3 points is, it's very small margin. It's very, very close. I could have gone either way. And,
Yep.
Ramy fans will say he was way ahead. Shaun Clarida fans will say you were way ahead. But first of all, I want to ask, were you really happy with the package you brought? Because I thought you looked fantastic.
Yeah, no, we were, man. And, if at one point in time I was a little nervous because my weight wasn't dropping.
Mm.
But then I got to realize that rebound after Olympia was a good rebound for us, where I was able to hold a lot of my size on. So I was 4 pounds heavier than I was at Olympia, but I believe my conditioning was just as sharp, if not better than Olympia. So we were definitely happy with the package we brought, and obviously we were definitely gunning for first and foremost a first call out, which we got. And I was very close to beating Ramy, which was a goal, at that point in time. And we were close, but we missed it by a hair. But no, I'm extremely happy about the whole entire weekend as far as my package, my placing, and just the whole show overall.
Yeah, they had you guys together at one point. I'm pretty sure they did that. Was it just a you and him at one point? I'll call it with
Oh,
just
it
you
was
and Ramy?
four. It was four of us. It was Bonak, Hakeem, myself, and Ramy.
Yeah, but all the pictures you don't see Akeem, you don't
Yeah,
see
yeah,
Bonak.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Nobody.
those pictures of Ramy and myself went viral. So,
Yeah, because he was 308 pounds.
sheesh.
Yeah, imagine that. And what you were 4 pounds heavier. So what'd you come into the Arnold at?
Woke up that morning about 181.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, props to you because the fact that you already had prep for the Olympia and then you had to stay on prep another 10 weeks, you would have been lucky in the eyes of most people just to hold on to your muscle and not lose any muscle with more and more prep, 2.5 more months of prep. You put on 4 pounds of muscle, man. Wow.
Yeah,
And like you said, condition. If the condition had suffered, I'd be like, big deal. But as good, if not better than the Olympia condition wise. So
yeah,
well done.
absolutely. I agree. Thank you, thank you.
So I know obviously you wanted to win. That's what everyone trains for. But top five, you gotta be happy to some degree. That's pretty damn great.
No, absolutely. I'm thrilled. Like I said, I definitely wanted to try to beat Ramy, but again, being in the top five of my first really big open show, aside from the Legion, being an Arnold, and being able to beat out some top champions like William Bonac, who's a two-time champ himself, Hakeem, Patrick Moore, Kamal. Getting to that first call was a big deal, man. That's what everyone strives for, and to get to hear my name being called out with those guys was definitely a surreal moment, and we soaked it all up, and again, we're excited with everything happened.
And I'll this is no diss on Ramy. the package you brought would have beat the Ramy that was at the last Olympia.
Yeah, yeah. No, he was. I have to agree because he was definitely way improved for this show. Absolutely.
Yeah. So everyone's going to go out and get stem cell treatment now, right?
No, I'm good on that personally.
I didn't make a question about it, but I've been hearing, another New Jersey guy, Trigilli, made a video saying the judges don't like Ramy because he's getting stem cells. And I had to, I don't take time to watch a lot of videos, but I'm like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. But he presented it like it would be like cheating. How's that cheating? Is that like it's like going to a chiropractor cheating? It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I can see what Nick's saying, and I can totally understand. But I don't know. It's I don't know what the judges are thinking. I think if there was a big enough deal, he wouldn't have placed fourth. He would have been a lot lower, I believe.
Absolutely, man. All right, yeah. So back to work and all that. You're no break,
Yeah.
no time off. Wow. I,
No.
I do want to
I
ask though, what was the first, if only, cheat meal that you had after it was all said and done?
so soon I had my whole family there. My training partners, the whole gym family. It was about 15 of us. We came back to my hotel and we ordered about $200 worth of Domino's. So we had Pizza Hut, we had pizza, we had cheesy bread, we had garlic sticks. And then I went back to my room after that when everyone left and had ice cream and a bunch of other stuff. So I definitely enjoyed myself.
Prior to that, how long had it been since you had tasted pizza?
Ooh, 9, 10 months, maybe 10 months.
My goodness gracious. That's too
Yeah.
long. Pizza is life.
Yeah, you tell me about it. That's exactly why I wanted it. That was the first thing I wanted after the show.
Yeah. Wow. 10 months without pizza. Any toppings or just straight up cheese?
I'm a pepperoni guy, man.
Okay.
Pepperoni is a must.
Pepperoni, yeah. Yeah, I usually wait because I usually don't get done with everything until everything's closed.
Hmm.
So there's a corner place called Mike's Slice, Late Night Slice, that I get my pizza from, right there next to Hilton. Anyway,
Nice.
well done, and let's get to some questions because that's
Let's
what we're
do it.
called. That's the giant killer. Okay, here we go. Shaun, how lean do you like to stay year round? And how lean do you feel most bodybuilders should try to stay? I hear different opinions about this. Some people tell me if I don't bulk up and allow myself to get fatter, I won't ever put much muscle on.
No, but I do believe in a clean bulk. I do utilize the same prep foods like lean turkey, lean bison, beef in my off season, but obviously in bigger quantities. I think I can stay within 10 to 15 pounds within striking distance of the stage weight. Yeah, you can definitely. I believe in trying to put on size. I do think you can have to put a little bit of fat with that as well. So I think cheat meals are definitely a good tool, especially when you have weaker body parts. So like for me personally, I would put my cheat meals around like my leg days or my chest day, things like that. But I think between 10 and 15 pounds is a good number, and try to keep your body fat levels a lot lower than normal.
You bring up a good point there with scheduling cheat meals around body parts that are maybe not as impressive as others. Tanya Rambo and I were talking about that years ago too. So would
Mm-hmm.
you have it like the night before? Would you have it the meal after? Where do you put those to get the most out of it?
So I would put it personally right after that training session. So I would have a flow. So for me, chest day, for example, I'd have a pretty decent pre-workout meal. Nothing that's going to overly stuff my stomach. But after that, I would like to have like a good, decent cheat meal, like a burger or maybe even something with some high calories, dense calories to kind of feed that muscle back up.
I always laugh when guys say, "I go for my cheat meal is sushi." I'm like, "It's not a cheat meal. Fucking
Nah,
raw fish and rice. That's a
nah,
clean ass meal to me." Anyway,
that's not
uh,
enough calories for me.
all right, it's time to go into your memory banks here. If you could go back and change how you did your training, diet, and supplement use over your career to maximize progress, what would you change and do differently? What have you found has worked best, and what would you advise upcoming bodybuilders to do more or less of? So I know that's a lot. Just to try to give us the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah, no, I honestly, I've been training the same way since day one. I mean, literally the heavy weights, the poundages, the way I train now is the way I trained from day one. The only thing I would have changed if I could go back and do it is start earlier. I started bodybuilding at 23 years old, and I didn't know much about it before then, but I would love to have started around maybe, 17, 18, did a few teen national shows and, a little bit more national shows. But again, I believe timing is everything and everything happens for a reason. But as far as training, nutrition, the whole 9 yards, I wouldn't change a thing.
I mean, you're 40 years old, but you could pass for 25, 27, I think, if you really had to. Yeah, I'm looking up for wrinkles. I don't see one.
Nah, you're not
I
gonna
don't.
find it over here.
I don't think your face is not all shot up with fillers and Botox. I
Oh,
know.
hell no.
I know that look too. It's kind of plasticky look. So okay, so the next question is sort of related to that. Please talk about how being a natural competitor for a long time helped you as a pro. I know Jose has spoken about that a bunch. We'd love to hear your take.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I'm happy I did that. I was able to build up my base naturally, and really maximize my potential at that point in time. I believe the way I trained or the way I competed back then enabled me to really push myself to the limit. And then once I obviously stepped into the next level, then my body really soaked it up. So I see a lot of young kids, man, they start super early, 16, 17. And if you do that so early, you get to a point where it's like, you're done. You're shut up. There's nothing left to do. Whereas if you really push your natural potential into a good spot, and then want to take that next step, your body's going to go even better, even longer, or even further. So yeah, I competed in the natural league from 2005 all the way to 2011, 12. So
Right.
and I did very well in the natural circuit. Won a bunch of natural shows, world titles, the whole 9 yards. But over that time, my body just got better and better and better, and I was able to create a great physique and great package and base from that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, the two best examples in my mind, the two guys who did it very similar way, Ronnie Coleman and Kai Green.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Ronnie and nobody wants to believe it because they what they can't achieve, nobody can achieve in their minds. So they
Yeah,
said, "Oh, Ronnie wasn't natural, Kai wasn't natural." But I was
yeah,
there. I remember seeing Kai win the Team Universe, and then a couple years later, boom, he put on like it was literally like 40, 50 pounds of tissue in that
yeah.
amount of time.
Literally,
Same thing happened when Ronnie flipped that switch, kaboom, because they had both built such incredible foundations, size, strength. They learn their body. And like you, man, I see so many young kids, they're starting way too young and they burn out. By the time they're like 20, 21, they're gone.
that's it.
Yeah,
There's nothing left.
awful. All right. This is a really good question. How did John Meadows influence your training or any other aspects of your life?
Yeah, John, man, I hate talking about John because it like makes me emotional.
I know.
But no, man, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without John as far as, training knowledge, intensity, and just getting after it. So, I mean, if you guys watch any of my training footage at the gym, just the intensity as far as drop sets and just strip sets and cluster sets and just kind of going to a dark place. I learned all that from John. We worked together for damn near 7 years, pretty much my whole entire career. And so he's the one that obviously wrote all my programs for me out, wrote all my programs for me. He had me at his house with his family, staying for a couple of days, training and just trying to prepare me for shows. But I learned so much from John, just not even just about lifting, just about life, about business, about being a good family man, because that's exactly what he is. So I can't thank him enough, man. Truly, it's definitely, like I said, it's very emotional, and yeah, it's just yeah,
Right.
yeah,
As far as training, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he was probably the most knowledgeable pro when it came to training of this generation. And
yeah,
thankfully, he has a YouTube channel that's still up. I believe it's called Mountain Dog Training.
yeah. Mountain Dog
And
diet. Yep.
Mountain Dog is a Mountain Dog diet. And guys, if you haven't checked that out, the wisdom that this man imparted, the tweaks on form, tempo, just so many
Yeah,
things to get the most out of different exercises. He came up with a bunch of different exercises, especially for back training. A lot of
yeah,
you guys probably do Meadows rows and don't even know what they are or who
yeah,
invented them. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I gone too soon, but he did leave behind such a legacy, particularly in the training nutrition aspect for people to follow. And I think
yeah,
he helped more people in terms of practical knowledge, not just inspiration with the physique, but actual scientific and experience knowledge that he was able to leave behind for so many people to take advantage of. So,
yeah. Exactly.
God bless. Oh, here's one I didn't even know about. In one of your videos, you mentioned you had disc herniations. How
Yep.
have you rehabbed from that? And how have you modified your exercises to protect your spine?
So yeah, 2011. I mean, I suffered. No, actually, 2007. I'm sorry. I remember like it was yesterday. I was stiff leg deadlifting, 275, and I went down for rep 5 or 6, and I just heard a big pop. And I was like, ooh, I put the weight down and it felt very warm in that area. And I didn't think anything of it. It's like, the little tweak in the muscle, no big deal. And I get home the next day and I couldn't put my pants on. And then I feel like I got well, obviously went to got X-rays, MRIs, the whole 9 yards, and it was 2 herniations in my back. So it took about a year and a half of like rehab in an area, going to a chiropractor, the whole 9 yards. And since then, I haven't deadlifted off the floor anymore. There are certain movements that I can't do because they put so much stress on my lower back, such as deadlifts off the floor, barbell rows, things like that. So I always say there's a million ways to train. So if I want to deadlift or hit my erectors or mid back, whatever, I do a ton of rack pulls with no problem. If I want to do any type of rowing movements, there's chest supported, there's a Smith machine, things like that. So, there are, and I hate when I hear people say you have to deadlift, you have to do this. No, you don't have to do that because not everyone, one, can do that, or two, can feel that muscle work doing those movements. So you do what works for you and what's best for you. So, but yeah, no, I mean those issues I had with my back, they're never going to be 100% ever again, and that's fine. And I don't miss deadlifting at all. It's cool to see it, but it's not worth me getting injured again.
Yeah, you can still do heavy back squats, though, correct?
Yeah, I can squat, no problem. I
Wow.
personally like to squat on the Smith machine. That has nothing to really do with my back. It's more so with a barbell. I feel like I get more tension in my lower back and spine. It's kind of pulling me up. Whereas with the Smith machine, it keeps me in an upright position and allows me to put more stress on my quad. So
I'm just curious, do you have to do like regular things like an inversion table? You probably get chiropractic regularly anyway, right?
So yeah, I know that I'm
That's
fine with
awesome.
that. I do a lot of body work twice a week, deep massage, tissue work. I get grass, then I get cupping the whole 9 yards. So, but as far as my lower back, it's fine now.
Yeah. And chiropractic, you get adjusted?
Very rarely, very rarely.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, I hear mixed reviews. I've done it for years, and I hear mixed reviews from people saying, it's only,
yeah,
it doesn't really. We like to hear those
yeah.
cracks. Like, oh, something good must have happened. I heard a crack. But man,
I prefer honestly what's really enabled my physique to go to the next level as far as recovery and training has been the deep tissue and the grafting and the cupping. Like that is something like I'm very like heavy on. Like I tell people, yes, it can be costly, it can be a pain in the ass, time consuming, but my body has literally changed, night and day from being able to, go in there, get that deep tissue because you're beating your body up every single day and your muscles are like this. So at a certain point in time, your muscle is so tight, you're not allowing blood to get in. So you need someone to go in and break up that muscle, allow more blood to get in there because one, again, allows more blood into the muscle to grow, but two, it keeps you safe because if you keep banging and banging and banging and it's so tight, eventually the muscle is just going to pop or tear, God forbid. So getting that flexibility allows blood to get in, allows you to train harder, but also have a longer career.
when you say it's a lot of money, but your body is it's your livelihood, so
Yeah,
it's an
absolutely. You get
investment.
one
You have
body.
to. Yeah.
You get one body, man.
And I just want to tell all the kids out there who have never hurt their lower back, be grateful. I know you can't appreciate something until it's gone, but man, lower back pain, everyone out there who's gone through it knows it sucks. Like you
Yeah,
just said, when
man.
you can't put your pants on or you can't put your own shoes and socks on, that's a level of pain a lot of people can't even fathom. But it's
It's the
wow.
worst pain, honestly.
Yeah, tell me about it. I think you've talked about this before, but what's your favorite and least favorite protein source? How many ounces do you typically eat at each meal?
My favorite, I would say, is ground bison, and my least favorite, I have to say, is fish.
You're not alone.
Yeah,
You hate all fish, or just some in particular?
just regular white fish, like cod, tilapia. I only eat it during prep when I have to. Like for this prep, as soon as I was done the show, I got rid of all my fish. Literally got rid of all of it. And as far as ounces, anywhere from 7 to 8 ounces per meal.
Here's salmon. A lot of people hate fish, but they'll eat salmon.
Yeah, I'll eat salmon. It's definitely a different taste, different texture.
Yeah.
I can eat that in the off season, but whitefish, which is like plain Jane, like that's not no.
Dude, well, tilapia in particular, because it's a bottom feeder. And
Yeah.
my favorite quote about tilapia was Evan Centopani. He said, "I wouldn't feed tilapia to a stray dog." So
Oh Jesus. I
you just let the
mean,
dog
listen,
die.
honestly, I do eat tilapia. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I get all my food from Mega Fit Meals, and their food is very fresh and it's good. I've tried cod as well. Cod for me, man, it's just I'd rather eat tilapia. I get a lot more flavor, I believe, out of tilapia than I would cod, personally.
I mean, to me, all those white fish are like almost flavorless.
Yeah, 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 right.
Very little flavor. Uh, a couple left. I have a question about training. How can I improve my front delts and chest in both strength and muscle definition? My back, side, and rear delts are 3 times stronger than my chest, and my legs are 4 times, literally. mostly I train alone. Because of that, I'm always afraid of pushing my limits. I've been training since 2009. I tried so hard to get past it, but I still have this fear of weights. My collapse on my chest. It keeps me away from pushing my limits, and also my strength isn't developing in those areas as well. Even after 10 weeks of consistent work in the same machine, usually I start from 25 pounds and it goes till 90 pounds, and that's it. It's a plateau I can't crack. Wow, that's a dilemma.
Well, first I would say don't ever be scared of the weights. I've never walked into the gym and says, "Oh, I'm scared to do this because God forbid something's going to happen." If you fear the weights and you fear something happening, that's what's going to happen. That's one. Two, I heard him say he does the same program over and over and over. I honestly don't believe in that. We change our programs every single week. So if you ask what I changed, what I did for back today, it's going to be different next week. So I believe in changing it up to confuse. I mean, yes, people hate the word, confusing the muscle, but for me it works. I'm going to put it out there. And three, if you're really trying to bring up an area that's weak, and if you feel like your shoulders are bigger or better than your front chest, I would say scale back on the shoulder training and increase the frequency of your chest training. So at one point in time, for me, I was training my chest twice a week because it was a weak area. So I would go in on Tuesday and do my major compound day, where it's heavy inclines, heavy dumbbell presses, heavy flies, things like that. And then I'd come back again on Friday, and this is something John created for me. It was a pump day, whereas I do the same movements but using more cables and machines, and a little bit more, a little less rest break and more repetitions. So my compound days, it was 8 to 10 reps. On my pump days, we're looking at between 10, 12, and 15 reps with a lot shorter rest breaks in between.
I didn't hear him say anything about dumbbells, so maybe he should try some dumbbells, because when you talk about the fear, obviously bench pressing by yourself heavy, not a great idea. You could actually get crushed, but dumbbells,
yeah,
just let them drop.
I don't bench press at all, Ron. I haven't bench pressed since college, maybe.
So
Yeah, I don't believe in it personally.
Yeah. What see? You don't have to deadlift. You don't have to bench press. You don't have to do anything. So
Yeah.
last question. I saved the best for last, Shaun.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you know it. How tall are your parents?
My mom is 5'5". My dad is 6'3".
6'3".
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, yeah. I
And I
mean,
got obviously I got off my mom's genes, so
yeah. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's not as dramatic, but I was maybe a touch over 5'8" before I started shrinking. I have a younger brother who was 6'2" and a half before he started shrinking. We're all older now, but
yeah.
and, it's weird. My mother was 5'2" before she started shrinking, and my dad, I think he was like 5'9" on a very good day. So you never know. But okay, wow. So your dad was 6'3".
Yeah, he's
Wow.
6'3". I think I'm definitely getting shorter. I think I'm
Well, I
almost like
mean,
5'1", 5 foot now.
nobody gets taller. You get taller up until like maybe 16 to 20, somewhere in that range, and that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, honestly, in bodybuilding, being short is a good thing, so I'll take it.
Well, you definitely don't want to be 6'3" as a bodybuilder. I'll tell you that.
No, I'm good. I would be like 300 pounds on stage.
Yeah, I mean, I used to train with a guy for years, Goon, if you're watching, 6'5", and boy, was it hard for him to fill out. Good Lord. He would be he bulked up to like 300 pounds at one point, 310, and he still didn't look, big,
Mhm.
because a lot of freaking arms and legs were this long. He had extra long arms too. No
That's like
offense,
my
Goon.
that's like my guy, my man, Jamie the Giant. Man, he's what 6'3", 6'2", but he's big, but he needs a lot more in order to make his frame look bigger. So I totally get it, man. Totally get it.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, bodybuilding is a sport. I don't think you want to be extra tall. It's especially with long limbs. You're never going to be able to fill them out to
Uh,
and it's funny because all of us who aren't 6 foot or whatever, but there are times, at least for me, we're like, man, I wish I was like 6 foot or 6'1". But then I hear these guys complaining to me all the time. Oh, I can't get my legs are always going to be skinny, and no one's ever happy. So the grass is always greener. Anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Well, man, Shaun, congratulations again. Top 5 at the Arnold Classic. Uh, I know I don't want to get way too ahead of myself here, or yourself, but would you do that show again, or does the timing have to be close like it was at the Olympia?
No, I would absolutely love to do it again next year if you have it. Depending on obviously, I'm gonna focus on Olympia right now, and but yeah, if the shows happens next year and it's in a good timing spot, Absolutely, I would do it again.
Yeah, because the fact that they took out 212 years ago,
Hmm.
it was great to see you and Kamal up there. You know,
Yeah,
it's kind of like they had the 212 in with the open guys. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
just one of the
exactly. Yeah, I mean, I hope maybe from seeing that they decide to bring it back. I think that'd be great. I'd love to get a 212 Arnold title under my belt.
yeah.
And maybe they'll allow me to do both. Who knows at the Arnold? Who knows?
Yeah, it's a different show. It's different promoters. So yeah, I think it's at their discretion.
Yeah,
The fact that they can cut divisions out if they want to tells you they can pretty much
add and
they can
subtract.
have
Yeah,
crossovers. Yeah, why not?
why not?
Anybody out there from the Arnold Committee listening? Please think about it. Just think
Let's
about it.
let's do it. Let's do
John's idea, but I'm in full agreement with that. Cool, man.
it.
All right, guys. So if you have questions for the next one of these we do, please leave them in the comments below. If you just want to leave a comment or a compliment or anything like that, we love feedback. So this has been another awesome episode of Ask the Giant Killer, brought to you by Mutant and starring the Giant Killer, Shaun Clarida, Olympia champion twice. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.